Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental A-Team Podcast.
Hello, Dental A-Team listeners. This is Ashley, and you guys, I am so excited to be on this podcast today. I am so excited to be talking about one of my all-time favorite topics, and I'm so excited to have with me your normal and general host, Kiera Dent.
Ash, it was so good. You even nailed my intonations. All right, you guys. So Ash just said, Kiera, I think I want to introduce the podcast because you say the same thing every time. And I'm like, I really do. What do I say? And Ashley, I didn't even have her practice that. I just hit record. Ash, that was impressive. So that's what I say every time
without laughing. You did pretty much, yeah.
You did. Hey, guys, I'm so excited. My little sister makes fun of my hand gestures. So if you guys watch the Instagram stories ever, my little sisters have the best time being like, oh my gosh, you guys. And they'll put their hands up and be like, so we're going to totally talk about dentistry today. And I'm like, stop. But yes, that's really me. So I love it, Ash. Well, I'm excited to be on your show. You're going to take over today. This is a good little switcheroo. Take on over, Ash. Let's have you host today. I like this idea.
Excited to be on my show.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
No pressure.
Ash, what's your show called?
The Dental A-Team Podcast. Obviously, branding to keep it original.
Obviously. So associate docs, if you're going to buy a practice, keep it the same name if it's a good name for branding, obviously. If it's got a good name. If not, do a little switcherooski. But so far, Dental A-Team's got a strong going on, so we'll keep it that way. All right. So take on over, Ash. Ash is taking over the mic.
So I wanted to talk about how to have fun at work today and how to boost team morale. I think it's a super applicable topic. I've been talking a lot about this with my coaching call clients because with COVID coming back, after being off of work for so many months, other things going on in the world right now, there's just this negative energy. So coming to the dental office, I was on a Zoom call yesterday and it was with this office who has some pretty toxic culture. And I was like, you guys, you need to recognize that you're in the business of creating smiles. And the best thing to hear at a dental office is laughter. So then we went into this conversation about different ways to have fun at the office and different ideas that I had and really got them vibing on different things they could do as a team as well. So I figured it would be a great topic to podcast on because I feel like a lot of other teams could benefit from this right now too.
Absolutely. And before we get too far into this, I've been trying to be better about this. You guys, if Ashley and I made you giggle today, or this podcast has helped you in any way, shape, or form, or you've been able to take a nugget and you have positively been impacted from this podcast, please stop right now. Go leave us a review. You guys, I read every one of those reviews. That helps our podcast have other people subscribe. That helps our podcast go up in the rankings. So that way other people looking for dental help can find us. So if we made you giggle or you guys have had fun on this podcast with us, go pop over, stop right now, go leave us a review. We've noticed you guys, you've been leaving them. So thank you. And Ash, I agree. Let's do something fun because let's be real. Dental A-Team's number one core value is fun because if we're not having fun, what the heck are we doing in this world? Right. And
totally.
I love what you said because I kind of felt negative and salty. I don't even enjoy going to the grocery store anymore because I feel like everybody, you look at them and they glare at you because your eyes are clearly going to pass COVID to them. And I'm like, dude, what has happened to our society of people loving and giving and sharing and remembering that we're all in this together? And so I kind of was getting salty and jaded and I'm just like, forget it. I'm just going to shop on Amazon because no one's angry with their eyeballs at me when I'm shopping Amazon. And I thought, I don't want to become that person. I don't want to lose the faith and the hope and the optimism because I do believe there are still phenomenal people that do love and are kind and are giving. And I do love that you could turn any office into that place. So your patients feel that warmth and that goodness and that fun. So Ash, should we share some of our our things we were discussing pre-air. That wasn't even intentional.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember how it got started. Oh.
Okay, so I was saying that I was super excited because I'm going to go get my hair done today.
You guys, I promise this is a professional podcast.
No, totally. But yeah, we were just small talking.
No, say it, Ash, say it. Go on. This is hilarious.
So I was telling Kiera how I'm super excited to go and get my hair done because obviously, like, it's COVID, right? Things were closed. So this is the first time I'm going.
Ashley has the coolest hair, and she has a freaking mane of hair on her head. It's so thick. It's so gorgeous. It's incredible. Ashley, you have incredible hair.
Yeah, it's a bit intense at times, but I appreciate your kind words. But yes, half of my hair is gone. Like, but you would never know that because it's down, like, oh gosh, I don't even know how many. It almost goes down to my butt is what I was recently told. So it's definitely time for a haircut. And I haven't gotten it cut in about a year, which sounds insane, right?
Yeah.
I know. But half of it is gone because if I pull it all up in a ponytail, literally the under part is shaved. It's gone because it's way too hot and it doesn't stay up in a ponytail. If I have like a full head of hair. So
must be nice, Ash.
Thanks. It's real nice.
Yeah. Okay. So Ash was telling me she's excited to go to the beauty parlor because that's what we call them these days. You're excited to go get your hair done.
And Kiera's like, so what kind of haircut are you going to get? And I said, well, it's kind of dark and gloomy in the world right now. So I'm thinking I'm just going to shave it all off and donate it because that, just bring a little bit of joy that way by donating my whole head of hair. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Absolutely not.
And then I said, Ash, you do whatever you want. You can have a shaved head. You can put a bow on it. You can even get a mohawk, like whatever you choose to do. And that's where it stemmed to. I told her that I did work in an office with a doctor who had a mohawk. And I remember one day, this was a serious meeting topic between me and the doctor. And the doctor said, Kiera, I don't like that patients say that I have a mohawk. And I said, well, you do have a mohawk. That's a fact. And she's like, no, it's not a mohawk. I have two different words. We can call it a pro-hawk, a professional mohawk, or a mofessional. So a mohawk that's professional. So we decided to start asking our patients and polling our patients of if we should call it a pro-hawk or a mofessional. Like, who does this? And that was what we started doing. We started polling our patients and they were having a ton of fun. One patient told her that she looked like Sonic the Hedgehog. That was one vote. The pro-hawk is what ended up sticking. And then I proceeded to tell Ashley that office was also the office. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what possessed me or why I did this, but I have always, since I was a child, wanted to get those heelies. Those cool tennis shoes that have like the wheel in the back. Well, my parents didn't buy me actual heelies when I was in elementary school. I got these like really weird, they're like Skechers that had wheels like tucked up inside and you had to push a button to get the wheels to release. They were so ghetto and so dumb and it was not quite the look I was going for. And so in my professional career, if you can call it that, I actually got heelies one time at an office because we told our patients that we were always so busy, we were running around like crazy. So I would wheel on my heelies into an office, like an operatory, to do a treatment plan for patients. So all of a sudden you just see me wheel in as I was giving. Obviously I didn't do it to all patients, but the patients that I knew would have a ton of fun with. I wore heelies a couple of times at the office with my nice skirt and professional blouse and then these nice heelies at the bottom as my kicks.
Wow.
And it was just so much fun. I told Ashley, I said, we need to pin it for our dental A team retreats to do heelies for the whole team this year. Because if you guys don't know, heelies are incredibly hard to use. I ate it so many times in those dang heelies. Like I would run into the walls, but I got to a point where I could do pretty tight corners into operatories. And I think that just rolls into having a ton of fun in the workplace. Make work fun, make your patients laugh. It was so much fun to do this.
Yeah. It rolls right into it. No pun intended.
Rolls right in. You guys, I don't know. I mean, the dumb things I did, we'd have patients vote on how well me and the doctor could moonwalk. So we were both trying to improve our moonwalking skills. Wow. We did a Michael Jackson. We would tell patients, I would just make up jokes when I was assisting, and I would tell people that our doctor loved Justin Bieber or Michael Jackson, and then I would get the doctor to sing in front of patients. And we got so much of a following of this Michael Jackson thing that one of our patients brought in the gloves, the hat, and everything, and asked our doctor to wear that while she was being the dentist that day. It was ridiculous, like glitter hat going on, but we just had so much fun, and our patients would join in and participate. Oh my gosh, that makes me miss being in an office right now because it was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, totally. I have so many wild stories of like just doing ridiculous stuff in the office.
Do share, Ash. Give us at least one.
Oh, okay. I think probably one of my all-time favorites is, so this is when I worked in like larger corporate dentistry. So it's a medical dental behavioral health center in rural northern Wisconsin.
Okay.
So that just kind of gives you a little context.
Gotta set the scene here.
We had, I think it was like 10 or 12 operatories, and like hygiene was all like the first 3. And then the back part of this long hallway was all the like doctor operatories. So we had this one hygienist, bless her heart, Stacy. She is amazing, and I love her. We're still great friends to this day. But she scares very easily, and she's particularly afraid of snakes. And in northern Wisconsin, I had no idea until she showed me. But she was like, "You guys," she was telling like the dental team this story. She's like, "I had one of these massive pine snakes in my garage again today," and I also do not like snakes.
Ugh, so me neither.
Yeah, they just creep me out. So, but anyway, she's like, "I had one of these massive pine snakes in my garage," and I was like, "Pine snakes?" And she's like, "Yeah, they get huge." And like literally, she showed me this picture of the snake. It was, and I'm not even joking, it was like 5 feet long.
Ew.
And it was probably like 6 inches like around. Like it was massive. And I didn't know that northern Wisconsin bred these types of snakes, but apparently they do. And so she's like freaking out, telling us this story and how she had to get rid of the snake. Well, flash forward, it's now like 3:00 in the afternoon, and we had just gotten a new order of toys in for our toy box, right? So we have a little kitty toy box. And one of our assistants who was in charge of ordering the toys ended up ordering these teeny tiny little, like very realistic looking plastic snakes. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So Stacy ends up going up front to get her patient. And I decided it was going to be hilarious if I placed this little teeny tiny plastic snake down by her rheostat. So she gets her patient. And I also like a lot of forethought went into this because I figured she was probably going to freak out. And I also knew the patient that she was bringing back.
Smart,
like it was
smart.
Not a
good,
new patient.
good thought on that one, Ashley. Good little disclaimer.
A little bit of professionalism went into planning this. But anyway, so she brings this patient back. She sits him down in their chair. I can hear her like talking in her operatory. And she's like asking them about their health history, updates, anything great, grand, wonderful. And then she's like, "Okay, we're going to lean you back and get started." So the moment I can hear her like wheel over, and all of a sudden I hear just like this massive scream. And she comes out of her operatory and she has like this ninja move, like glaring in her operatory. Just left her patient there with the snake that she thought was real.
Everyone fend for yourself. Like, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
So epic.
We died laughing.
So
and obviously, like I told everybody that I was going to do it. And so everybody was just like waiting for the reaction to happen. So everybody knew that it was going to go down, and we all just died laughing. And then she didn't know for the longest time. She actually blamed it on one of the associate doctors.
And Ashley just let that ride. Totally just ride that
Absolutely.
train. It's epic. You guys, I think, and Ashley, you brought up such a good point of having fun in the workplace, and obviously keep it professional. And I mean, we can cross the lines. We need to make sure our patients feel comfortable. But you guys, there is so much fun, that smile and that laughter. I mean, even for you guys right now. So if you're driving or wherever you are, you can like, I want you to get really, really, really intense, like make an intense face, like you're super serious, and see how you feel. And then like just giggle and smile and see how you feel. And I just did it as I was saying this. And I can feel a physical heaviness when I'm super intense and I'm really frustrated versus the lighthearted, airy, fun, like podcast that Ashley and I have been doing. And I will say my husband, so Jason, he went to pharmacy school and then graduated in 2015. From 15 to 16, he did his residency. And then fast forward 4 years later, and actually he was just promoted, shout out, brag on the hub. But he actually just got promoted to the clinical director of the pharmacy. And some of the people he worked with said, like, pretty impressive. You went from being our resident to our boss in less than 4 years. And I was thinking about this, and Jason just hit his 5 years because he included the residency. And we were reading a lot of the comments that his coworkers had given him. And all of them have said, Jason, you bring a morale and you bring this happiness and you bring this fun to our department. And I really do believe that that's part of the reason Jason was placed in management. His boss told him, Jason, you actually bring our whole organization together because you have fun. And Jason is always pulling pranks. His most famous prank was when he took one of the, like they have wireless mice at the hospital. And so he took a mouse from one of the computers, and I don't know how he did it exactly, but he was able to figure out that him sitting at his computer, he could switch the little part of the mouse to where, like, the girl working on her computer, she could still use her mouse and it would work, but Jason could move the mouse just a little bit and it would override. So they'd go to try and click on a button and he'd move it just a little bit, and they're like, ugh, this mouse. And then he would like they'd try and scroll and he would hit the scroll wheel, and so just like scroll clear to the bottom, and they're like, what is going on with my computer? And this one girl, he told her, and they have it recorded too. It was probably the best one he ever did. This girl, she's like, oh my gosh, this is the most stupid thing. And Jason's like, well, maybe they're like working on the computer. And she's like, yeah, they probably are. And he was like, well, why don't you like open up a Word doc and like type to them and ask them like what's going on? So the girl does that. And of course, it's Jason who's moving the mouse around, but it's just driving. And he did just a little bit to where it would just annoy them. So they couldn't quite click on the button, or it would like scroll to the bottom of the page and like, oh, and he wouldn't do it all the time. So it just felt very glitchy. So she opens up this Word doc to write to them, and she misspelled the word there. And he took the mouse and auto-corrected it for her. And she's like, what the heck? They're even auto-correcting my note? Like, who are these people? And Jason was dying, and this girl got so frustrated, and then they would all giggle, and then they'd go do it to somebody else. But I will tell you that fun in the workplace, and of course, Jason's not doing it all the time, but every single one of his comments was, please keep it a lighthearted, fun place to work. You've added so much to our morale. We love coming to work, and they'll all prank each other. There's always... I mean, they even tried to get me to allow them to post our car, Jason's car, in the hospital parking lot for like $200 online and have his phone number attached to it. It's just funny things that they want to do. Of course, keeping it professional. I said, no, he would totally like, that would go beyond the line of what would be granted. I probably should have let them do it. But anyway, we would have gotten so many calls. It would have been impressive. But the fun thing about this, Ash, I love that you brought this up, is because I think so often we forget, and we think that so much of being a great employee is just like mastering our dental assisting, mastering our treatment planning, mastering being a good office manager and leader. And the reality is you've got to have a ton of fun. Otherwise, I think that that's what people want to be there for, but that's my take. Ash, I kind of took over for a hot minute. What are your thoughts on that? What do you want to add to?
Oh man, no, I totally agree. Like I said, and I honestly truly believe this, like we are in the business of creating smiles. And I don't think that just comes down to like number 1 through 32. It comes down to like actually making people feel welcome. It goes into case acceptance, building relationships, building trust. It affects so much more than just like coming to work and having fun at work. Like your patients feel and sense this. Mm-hmm. So it really, really, like coming to the dental office should be a fun experience. It already has this negative stereotype of everybody hates the dentist. Mm-hmm. So I think if we can change and morph that, you're going to stand out as a practice. Your reviews are going to show that. Your patients are going to love you. It's going to affect everything, team culture and like turnover rate. So
absolutely. And Ash, this is something that I think it's so simple. It's such a simple thing. And I've been doing this with Jason, and you guys could implement this in your offices, maybe in your morning huddle, maybe at the end of the day. Every night before Jason and I go to bed, I ask him, I'm like, hey, Jace, what was the favorite part of your day? Or what was the highlight? Or what was the funniest part of your day? And so we're constantly thinking about those things, and we're building momentum on the good parts of our day. And maybe in your office, it could be, all right, guys, what was the highlight of our day yesterday? Or what was the part that made us laugh until we cried yesterday? Because I think when you start to highlight those really fun moments, you start to create more of them. I know as an assistant, my number one goal was to get my patients to laugh, because I knew if they were laughing and having a good time, I knew that they were comfortable and they felt safe and they felt they felt confident to be getting their dental work done. And it was a struggle. I only had one person in my entire career tell me I talk too much. That's fine. We all have one hater. It's totally fine. And I thought I should stop talking, but everybody else would giggle. And I really do believe that humor, I remember our patients, I thought one of the best compliments I was ever given in the office that I owned and managed was I had a patient tell me, "You guys have such a good vibe here. I love to be in your space and at your office." And I know that came because we were pulling pranks. We were having fun. We were making our patients laugh. We were making our team laugh while working really hard together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes a long way. Like your patients, they sense that, they feel that, and they're either drawn to it or, they're one of 100 that think you talk too much.
It's fine. I'll still keep it up. Ash, do you remember the last and final story that I'm going to share? And Ash, you can wrap it up in whatever way you want. And if you guys don't know, Ash is one of our traveling consultants, and she goes to offices and she is incredible with teams. She loves marketing, team morale, all these things, which seem so silly, but I will tell you, you implement some of these small, silly things and you will have a different practice. I promise you. You'll have a different team. You'll have a different morale. You will have a different culture by implementing humor and fun. And I think it was one of the most embarrassing stories I have ever had. Ashley, this one. I shared this at Voices of Dentistry. Most embarrassing moments, but gosh, the team and I have laughed about it so hard. I was doing some Invisalign pictures. With a patient, and I learned what you should never say, never, ever, ever say. And I was just, being my little cheerful, playful self, just trying to get the patient to giggle and laugh. And, we're taking Invisalign pictures. So I was having her use these cheek retractors. And I remember I went to her and I was like, okay, she knew I'm taking Invisalign pictures. I have the camera ready to go. And I said, okay, so now we're going to spread your cheeks and I'm going to take a picture. And I was like, and she lost it, guys. She lost it so bad to the point where she was drooling out, laughing, could not hold the cheek retractors ever and I just went bright red. I'm this little Molly Mormon, so naive on every single level, and realized what I had just said. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she just laughed so hard. And then the dentist came in and she was like, okay, we're going to get you numb. We're going to knock your jaw out. And I was like, so between me saying, we're going to take pictures of your cheeks, we're going to spread your cheeks and take a picture, and we're going to knock your jaw out. What kind of a practice are we running? This patient was a raving fan, you guys. My most embarrassing moment, this woman requested me every single time. We'd high five. She would giggle. She loved our practice. She referred so many patients to us. And I think it was because I was just an honest, real person with her. Giggled so hard. She was drooling. I was laughing to where I almost wet my pants. So embarrassed. But I think it's fun to just add those humorous points to your daily life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love when the team recognizes that too. It kind of goes right into what I was going to I wanted to also give our listeners not only these funny, amazing stories, but also some quick tips that you guys can do to implement with your team of how to just have more fun at the office. So if you've ever had one of us as a consultant come into your practice, one of our, at least I don't want to speak for you guys, but one of the biggest things that I love implementing is the Bravo jar. Kiera, I know you love implementing this too.
Speak it, Ash. It's so good.
Okay, so the Bravo jar, if you guys don't know what that means, basically get a jar, get a bowl, get whatever you want, and set it in your break room somewhere. What I love to do is also put in some sticky notes and some pens right there by this jar. Now, how it works is anytime somebody within the team sees another team member doing something above and beyond, or giving a patient an awesome experience, or maybe it's one of these funny aspects, right, that just brighten the day, literally write that experience down on the sticky note, short, sweet, to the point, throw it in the jar. Okay, so ideally what you have is this collective jar full of wonderful, happy little sticky notes, talking about awesome gratitude, ways that the team helped patients or each other. And then what you do is you read these in the morning. So what I usually like to do is just pull one either once every morning, or maybe one or two once a week, and incorporate that, make it part of your morning huddle. And I was actually on the phone with one of my office managers a couple weeks ago. And I said to her, I was like, Angela, so their jar, they called it the pickle jar because we created this acronym for pickle in their office, and it went around their core values. I don't remember what pickle stood for, but it was literally a pickle jar that they had in their break room. And I was like, Angela, what happened to the pickle jar? And she's like, well, I know like when you were here, we started doing it, but then it kind of slowed down and then nobody was adding things to it. Totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, it's sloughed off. Let's get it back going. Like, let's start this over again. And I said, you guys have some amazing core values. What if we make some of the notes or like things that people write up? Like, what if we make it core values focused? So, like, for example, core value, one of our core values is fun. I was like, literally write your core values out on your whiteboard and pick one core value once a month that you're going to focus on. So like this month, it's fun. So anytime we see a team member displaying some sort of aspect of fun or having fun in the office, having fun with a patient, write that down and throw it in your pickle jar. And I said, here's your next element of surprise. What I want you to do is like pick some sort of cheap little local business, or not cheap local business, but pick a local business and get a cheaper, inexpensive gift card to that local business. So now we're supporting local businesses. We're getting a gift card. What we're going to do is we're going to tie that gift card, or basically just like paper clip that gift card to one of the random sticky notes that's in the jar. And then you're going to have a team member morning huddle. It's not going to be one of you, like the office manager or the doctor. It's going to be a team member pulling out one random sticky note. If they happen to pull out the sticky note that gift card is tied to, whichever team member is written up or like written about on that sticky note, they are the ones that get the gift card.
So fun. That's such a good idea, Ashley. I love that.
So I was like, this is a super like quick and easy way. You're encompassing all 5 love languages, right? Of like gifts and words of affirmation. Like it hits those 2 because you should be aware of that if you're in dentistry. You guys were all about like personality tests and knowing your love language. It sounds sappy, but it works. So do it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, this hits a lot of those marks, and it's a great way to boost team morale. And it's also core values focused. Like you're going to get your team honed in on your core values. They're going to start looking for these opportunities to not only display your core values, but they're going to watch for them in their teammates as well. So it just builds that team unity, that team culture.
And it's such a good idea. And then what?
And I was just going to say, she really loved that idea. So I'm super excited to touch base with her again and see how that's going. But yeah, she's like, oh yeah, we're totally going to reinstate this Bravo jar situation, our pickle jar, and definitely do it. So a quick and easy thing you guys can do.
Hello, Dental Aid team listeners. All right. One of my absolute favorite quotes is, you are always one decision away from a totally different life. So what life do you want to have? Do you want more accountability? Do you want a team that's trained? Do you want to have somebody who thinks outside the box and creates just for you? Do you want to have a coach? Do you want to have team training? Do you just need somebody to kick you in the rear and get you going? Okay, don't worry. I'm in every single one of those boxes. And that's why we created Dental Aid Team Silver, Gold, and Platinum. It's going to be customized team training for you on the terms you want. So silver is more for accountability. Gold includes all of our online training, plus the accountability, and Platinum includes all of that and in office. You guys, I would strongly suggest you go join Dental Aid Team Gold today, because you're always one decision away from a totally different life. So what are you waiting for? Hop on over to thedentaladteam.com today. You guys, we only have so many spaces, so get over there today and sign up for Dental Aid Team Silver, Gold, or Platinum.
Another quick way to have fun tip. So when I used to work in cosmetic dentistry, it was an all-female run office. And we decided that we were going to adopt the theme after the Mean Girls of On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. So we would always take pictures. And I know one of our other offices that Kiera, that you and I coach, does that as well.
Yes, I love it.
So we'd always take pictures like as an office and post them and use our little hashtags. But you can literally have any like theme day within the office too. And I think it's so much fun. If you guys haven't been doing this, what I would recommend doing is like throw it out to your fans on social media and say something along the lines on your post of like, hey, our office wants to make sure this is a fun, awesome, creative space for you guys to come to where you feel happy coming to the practice. One of the things we're going to start doing is incorporating theme days. Like, what themes do you think we should dress up as? So it could be like Animal Day or Unicorn Day or like literally anything, right? But like throw it out to your fan base and see what your fans come up with on social media. You could literally like have a contest where your fans vote on a theme and then take pictures. But you'll be surprised at how many patients, when you do this, they like want to schedule on those days where they know it's going to be super fun to come to the office.
That is a really good idea. I would want to come, especially if you make it up. Like, I want to do Despicable Me Minions Day, and tell me what day you're doing that.
Right, totally. And I think, like, granted, we're wearing a lot of PPE now, so it could be a little bit more challenging to do it. But there's definitely ways that you guys can still get creative and do this, and still have fun in the office. So I challenge you to think about that. And, like, talk to your teams about it as well. Office managers, doctors, those of you that are listening out there, like, or even just regular team members, like, bring it up in your team meetings. Talk about how you want to have more fun in the office and incorporate this aspect of just having fun with your patients as well. Themed music days. Kiera likes to say that I'm a DJ.
Ashley is a DJ. True. DJ Ashley Dorn in the house.
Themed music days are also super fun. So like 80s day, 90s day, again, at this like all cosmetic female office, we had Beyonce themed music days where we just had like Beyonce playing in the background the entire time. But super fun for us as well.
So much fun.
Really, it sets the entire tone and the mood of the office. So I challenge you to just think of creative things like that to do with your team.
For sure. And Ash, as you were saying that, I was just thinking, like, you guys also can do fun team outings. So I know, like, Jason, going back to him, we have a really cool river, and he put it out to his team and asked them, what do we want to do for team bonding? It doesn't cost them anything, and they're going to go float the river. They're going to take a couple hours off on a Friday and head down there in the middle of the workday. I know they've gone hiking together. We went axe throwing, and the company doesn't have to pay for it. So I know, like with Jason at the hospital, we pay for ourselves, but it's just getting everybody together. And something I've noticed watching Jason, because I like to observe other people, is he brings this fun. And so if you guys don't have fun in your office, be the person to implement it. And it can just be making jokes, or it could be, pulling pranks, or it could be implementing the Bravo jar of just fun, positive. And I think we need to go above and beyond. And I think your patients need to feel that, because like Ashley said at the beginning, sometimes the world can have some doom and gloom, and you being different right now. Now is your time to zag, guys. Like, the world is zigging in one direction, zag in the other direction, and you're going to stand out and get a ton of referrals and people just raving and wanting to work for you. Make your office that place that you have a flock of people. People are having a hard time hiring right now. And I'm like, what are you doing to set your office or your company apart that makes people want to work for you? I know there's one office in particular that I know of. I went back to working in the dental field. That is the number one office I'd go work for. They're so much fun. They have a blast. They have snow cone days. They have like theme dress up days. They have this really fun whiteboard, and they write the coolest things, and they do like confetti in the office, and they just do so many fun things in that practice that I'm like, I want to work there. So I think that also can be a great way to attract hiring people as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody's hiring right now. So I think, just brag about yourself and what you're doing, what sets you apart, how are you fun?
Including the dental team. So we don't take people from offices. That's just not our jam, guys. But if you are not working in a practice, or you've ever wanted to be a dental consultant, or do coaching calls or virtual, so maybe you work as an office manager Monday through Thursday and you want to up your office manager game, Fridays, a lot of offices are open that we coach. So if you've ever been interested, reach out to us as well. Don't worry, docs. We don't take your team members. That's just not cool. And we don't want a reputation of that. So, but if any of you want to up your game, or you've ever thought about being a consultant, or you know somebody who'd make a great dental A team member, we are hiring as well. And I'm not going to lie, Ash, I think we're one of the most fun companies that I've ever worked for. I hope you feel the same way. So
totally. We definitely are a fun company for sure.
We have way too much fun. It's epic. And guys, we're a virtual company, so it's high five, Ash. All right, you guys. Well, Ash, no, this isn't my podcast. You've got to wrap this thing up.
Oh man, I know your intro. What do you say at the end?
Do you want me to wrap it?
Yeah, you wrap it. I'll memorize it for next time, though.
Next time, Ashley Dorn will be DJ Ashley Dorn on the podcast. So Ash, I just want to thank you. Thanks for adding fun to our company, for coaching offices, and bringing up such a fun topic today for us to incorporate in offices. Guys, Ash just gave you a ton of tangibles. Go implement them. I know this sounds silly. Yes, you have payroll. Yes, you have credentialing. Yes, you have hiring. Yes, you have figuring out the schedule. You also have the element of fun. And I think it's important because we don't think that's a priority. And I would say make that one of your top priorities, and your practice will change. And so with that, Ash, brilliant topic. Loved it. Love having you on our team. And in my life personally, it's such a great blessing and joy to have you in my life. So thanks for being on the podcast and being on our team.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you for having me. The feeling is so mutual. It's so much fun to work for this company, and I truly do love it. And I'm actually going to go back to what you just said. You guys incorporate these things, take pictures on social media and tag us.
Yeah.
Like we want to see your photos of you guys having fun. So definitely I'm adding that on there as well.
Brill.
But yes, thank you for having me. And thank you for just always vibing with me and being willing to talk about any topic I throw at you randomly.
Anytime. Thanks for bringing the topics. I love podcasting with you because I don't always have to think of the topics. You come up with real fun ones. So you guys, all right, that's a wrap. So go implement something fun. Tag us, let us know, DM us on Instagram. We want to hear from you. Don't worry. We can even make it incognito mode if you are too shy. So be sure to tag, have fun. This is the time to have fun and to be somebody different. And with that, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time on the Dental 18 Podcast. And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental 18 Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.